acting been your primary
No,
source for
I
the
was I had date until 9. So, but for 20 years, for the first 10 years, I did a lot of different jobs. I was
Sure.
Magician?
Yeah.
I was a magician. I was a bellhop.
Oh, I would have liked to have seen you as a bellhop.
Let me tell you a bellhop story. I was a bellhop at the Ambassador East Hotel back when it was the hotel.
Wow.
And I delivered something to a room, and Frank Sinatra answered the door
Shut up.
and said, I gave him what he wanted. He said, I don't have any money, but this was in my tuxedo last night. Would you like it? And Frank Sinatra gave me this pocket square that says,
That one?
Love
Nice.
Frank Sinatra.
Whoa.
Fantastic.
Are you making that up?
No, how would I make that up?
Because you're an actor.
I just thought someone would mention my pocket square and then it would be more organic.
Well, no,
but now I had to set my own self up. I had to set up my own story. I thought someone at some point would go, hey, look at you got an orange pocket square. And I go, well, that's a funny story.
You gotta put Frank out there.
It says Frank.
All I see is like a leaf or
Oh, and
something.
it has his face. It's actually,
Love Frank Sinatra.
it's his
Serious?
face imprint. I don't know if you can get that on the camera.
Well,
it's his
I don't
face
know where it is.
imprint.
Impressive.
I don't know which
Yes.
camera.
Well, there. I didn't look at that
I've
one.
never
Face
seen
imprint.
a
Yeah.
merch
Okay.
item, a pocket squares.
How many
So-
times did he do that? Say, I don't have
Right,
any money.
sure.
I know,
But-
right, exactly. But you
but
know what?
here's my-
Frank Sinatra gave this, and just keep printing them up.
But if you feel like doing a little performing, sir, this would be a time if you wanted to.
Like, do you remember any lines from any of your
I'll tell a story.
parts?
Okay.
Because I was my life as an actor has been one long descent into humiliation. And I'll tell you the story, that I got a job on Broadway, and I was an understudy on Broadway. And I was Matthew Broderick's understudy in The Odd Couple. And when you're an understudy, it's really the hardest job in the theater. So this is a two-part. Should I tell the whole story? It's a two-part story. So the first part of the story is that when you're an understudy, it really is the hardest job in the theater. And what you have to do as an understudy is you have to recreate the role that the actor, the main actor plays, really to the gesture, you know, and it's because your job is to fill in and have the other actors be comfortable. So after about 7 months on Broadway, Matthew Broderick took a vacation. So I went on for Matthew Broderick with Nathan Lane in The Odd Couple. Now the first thing you have to know is that when you go on for a star, everybody hates your guts. Because they have come to the theater and they have paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars to come to the theater. And they've come to see Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane in The Odd Couple. And when they get there, they find out it's Nathan Lane and Marc Grapey. So the first thing that happens is that they make an announcement and they say, you know, in tonight's role, the role of Felix will not be played by Matthew Broderick, will be played by Marc Grapey. And then 2,000 people boo.
Oh, no.
They just literally boo. They go, oh.
Awesome.
Right? And then the other thing about The Odd Couple is The Odd Couple is this really amazing Neil Simon play that was written in the 60s for Walter Matthau and Art Carney, who were really big stars. So it was written for stars. And stars in plays get entrance applause, right? A star comes on in a play and everybody claps. Yeah. But since everybody claps, it stops the action of the play. So they have to write in time for people to clap that doesn't disturb the action. So in The Odd Couple, Felix, the role I was playing, he comes on in the rain, and the action, so he comes on, it's Matthew Broderick, he comes on, and everyone claps for 45 seconds. Because it's Matthew Broderick, yay, it's Matthew Broderick. And so for the 45 seconds, he takes off his raincoat, and he hangs it up slowly, and he takes off his hat, and he hangs up his hat, and he takes out his handkerchief, and he wipes off the water. And then finally the applause is done, and they can start the play. Well, I have to do everything this guy does, but no one cares about me. So in the play, every time, every other night, the door opens and they're like, Felix, and the audience goes, ah, they start screaming, and then for 45 seconds he does all this. So I come on the first night and I'm like, Felix, you never heard such silence. But for 45 seconds, I gotta act like they're clapping. So I gotta take off my hat and say, this is the longest 45 seconds of my life.
Oh my God.
But the story that I came to tell was that when you're doing this show with these stars, the people come all the time backstage to see them in New York. There's celebrities and in a Broadway theater there's a doorman who's got a microphone, and it's got like 2 stages where he sort of says who's there, and then there's one that's kind of inside the theater that tells you who is there, right? So, and we were always there every night, and we were sitting there. And once at the end of the show, the microphone would come on and they'd say, like, Nathan Lane, you have a visitor. It's Elaine Stritch. And then they go like, Matthew Broderick, you have a visitor. It's Lauren Bacall. And then like, Nathan Lane, you have a visitor. It's Billy Crystal. And then one night we're sitting in the green room, and for no good God reason, the microphone comes on and says, Marc Grapey, you have a visitor. And everyone looks at me like, who's coming to see you? Next thing out of the microphones, it's your mother's periodontist. Who had come to the show, saw my name in the program, and said, I gotta go say hello.
That's awesome.
At least you didn't get subpoenaed.
Oh, yeah.
Now you get your applause.
There you go.
45 seconds of clapping starts
There
now.
comes I take off my hat.